You're gonna see my cat sometimes, but
that's fine. That's bonus content, you know.
yeah.
I put the cat in the intro of the video and I get double the views. It's easy. Today's episode of The Hot Drop is a little behind schedule, but I really wanted to wait for PEC to finish, and I think it was all worth it. My guest today is Qwizzy, who has been an absolute OG of the scene. I've been in top level teams since 2019, but just now found the perfect team, he says. They just got first at PEC this weekend. We obviously talked a lot about that, but we also talked about his history, how he got into this team, how he built this team together with Hiruzen. And talk a bit about the state of PUBG, what he thinks of the other regions, TPP coming in, etc., etc. I know you guys are gonna like this one. Welcome to episode 23 of the podcast. Today's guest is the man of the hour, Qwizzy, a European champion. How does that feel? You gotten used to that yet?
I think never. It's like playing this game for so long, and it's like, it's probably first time being with this title. I never won it.
Yeah. I had a look at your Wikipedia before this, and you've obviously been in the scene forever. And you've had your successes here or there, but like first in Europe in potential, like a lot of people would call this like the most competitive region. And it's like everybody, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but during the tournament, I feel like most people are just thinking about qualifying to PGS, right? Like that's the big thing. But then actually ending up winning it sounds fucking nice. Just like first in Europe, you know?
It's probably because of you just get used that Twisted is always winning it, right? Like for example, last year with VP, we lost by 1 point, and you were super tilted. I still remember that time because like you actually wanted to win it.
Yeah.
And like you see Twisted Mind making that comeback, and you just can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
And like if you think about it right now, like whenever you play, you just know like we just need to qualify because Twisted is gonna be first.
Yeah.
They won't give you the spot. So I don't even remember these feelings when we understood that we won, because it wasn't that super hyped, but we were like, oh, we won.
It was probably also not super hyped because your last day wasn't a crazy day, right? Like your last day was just like 5 points, 7 points, 9 points, 3 points.
You were just like taking this point just to like always be, because you already know that you're ahead of the teams, right? And you just need to like collect this point. It wasn't like a crazy win. Of course, if it was like a win in the last game and you know that you won it, it would be like different.
Would be different.
But at the same time, like after day 2 with all emotions that we had, like day 3 was more like chill day that you just know that you need to continue growing your confidence and stuff, like getting your points on board, and that's it.
Bringing it home, right? I think that's what I said to you at the start of the day. It's like you done the work now. You just gotta kind of bring it home. And now that you did it, it doesn't sound that hard, but for a lot of teams, that is like the hardest part. Like if you watch like T1 in the PGC finals or something, right? They're going into the last day as first, and they just fall apart and they get nothing done. Or like there's a lot of teams that have had that in the past.
It's one of the things that I said before the tournament to everyone as well, that you want to win it. You don't want to like focus on qualifying, because like whenever you focus on the qualifying, you just know that like you're gonna shake a little bit because like you're thinking about the qualifying. But if you actually think about the win, even if you won't win, you're gonna qualify, because like you might be short for the winning, but you're gonna qualify anyways because you're gonna be second, third, or something.
True. Yeah.
And at the same time as well, it's I think it was my first time like playing and really understanding with the people and the team. I didn't have like any pressure that we're gonna win, because like I actually know that the players that we have and like with the structure that we built for 2 months is more than enough if we're gonna play our A game to win it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to talk about that in a bit, but I want to start at the beginning. I already said like you've been in the scene forever, right? From Tornado Energy to NaVi to
still the youngest
VP.
Still the youngest there.
Yeah, it's like you've been on so many teams, and you've gone through a lot of teams in like the last like 2 years or so, I would say, or maybe you've gone through more orgs than teams. Like you had like Mad Bulls, Woo, VP, but it was kind of the same team and stuff. But you've been through a lot of teams and you've had your successes. but like you said before, I don't think you've ever won much, right? It was like you had a third with VP, you had some good times with NaVi.
I mean, the best times were with Tornado, I guess, when we were
Yeah.
like playing against NLT, because we were always second or first. It was like
Yeah.
only 2 teams competing in
Yeah.
the PCS times. But yeah, most likely it was either a good year, either the year that I'm just playing in qualifiers and can't do shit.
Yeah, I scrolled through your Twitter as well. There was like a tweet where it's like, it's so shit to compete in this game. It's like, I think it was on the Woo or something where you got like 11th in a qualifier and you needed A's or something. Like the game's rough, but you've gone through a lot of teams. You've had a lot of reasonable success. But like you already said this now, like you feel like this team is kind of the one. This is like you feel really, really good about this one, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's most likely because every time I was like doing it in the teams, I was the one who is getting invited, or we were just like getting the players that are available, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after I got kicked out of VP, I knew that Hirozen left from Twisted Minds as well, because we're close friends, right? Like we are not only partners in the team, but we are literally close friends, because like we are together from Tornado Energy times and we just know each other. And I just told him, he never wanted to come back to the PUBG after he trained at Twisted Mind. He said that he want to move on. And I said to him that let's try to make a team that we gonna like ourselves. So we basically, the team that we have right now, we build it together, inviting players, and it was the most probably, I don't even know how to describe it, because like it was like actually like we were in CS or Dota, right? Because like we're not just picking the players, but we were picking the players with the positions that they're actually playing. Like, for example, we just know that we need a star player. We were looking at the star players who we actually want, and etc. Like with the Spire as well. Like we just know what he's capable of and stuff like that. With the PD, that but I hate his nickname. Alexi. And we just know that like if you bring all the players and they're all good at something, it's just like whenever they connect, the team structure is gonna work. And that's basically what happened. But it's another story, because like it was actually the roster has to be other one, because like we never knew who is gonna join. It was like
I was gonna say there was a few like iterations, right? There was like like probably before before the end of last year, you wouldn't know that you had Diffix, right? Like he joined, and then you were playing with Molodoc for a while as well, right?
Yeah.
Was that sort of BB calling Molodoc over, or how did that go?
I think it's one of the things that I hated in my career, because I'm the one who took Molodoc, because I played with him in the last day, right? And he actually liked playing with me, because I was like jailing there, and Hirozen was our coach as well in the last day. Because like he has nothing to do, and he like I had a mix, and I asked like, Hirozen, can you coach us a little bit? And he was like, okay, like why not?
Why not?
I have a free time. So basically, like Molodoc has to be in the team after we played at the Pack Fall, I guess. And I wanted to build a team having him in, just like having some more players around him. And he actually declined. Like Gaming Gladiators wanted to have him. They actually like tested him and gave him a contract, but I said like, don't take the contract, because like you're gonna play with us instead. And like when the new year came, we just understood that Diffix is gonna leave, because he didn't want to play with NaVi. And at the same time, like it just all came together that he didn't want to play and he got kicked at the same time. So it's basically, and at that time we just all sat together, and like everyone said that like it's a no-brainer. Of course, you want to have Diffix if he wants to play with us. And of course, you can't keep Diffix and Molodot in the same team, but they're both star players, so you can have it. And because I was the one who actually said Molodot not to join GG and stay with us, I had to come to him and say to him that you're not playing with us because we choose Diffix. So I actually like fucked him over, but I respect Molodot as well. We are still good friends right now, because he understood this decision like quite nicely. He said like, it's fine. Okay, I know he was tilted, because like whenever you're hearing this and you know that like it happens like this, I don't remember how many times I said sorry, and like this was probably like the hardest thing in my career, because I never kicked anyone for anyone else. But I'm glad that he got like picked up by BB, I actually knew that he's gonna, even if we don't take him, he's gonna get picked up by BB, because like there is not other players that they can take. And like, I'm just fine that he just made it as well with the BB. And
it went well for both of you.
As well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he didn't fuck it over as well, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, because I was like, I thought in my head, it was like, I thought probably BB like gave him like a contract and he said okay. But then you end up with Spyro, and I thought in my head, like, that makes way more sense for the team. Like, Spyro is way more what you need, right? Like you just said. So I had that idea already, but it's cool to see that like you guys made the decision against 2 star players, because I think a lot of teams don't do that, or a lot of people also don't do that, because they see a great player and they're like, okay, like this guy shoots better than me, so we need him, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about
nice.
building the team as well, is I think a lot of teams right now in EU is still like, they see the stats of the player and they're just picking him up.
Yeah.
It's like the same. You just know, like, as well, like, for example, NaVi of the last year, you have Diffix and Hakatori both on the same team. We just knew that the Diffix is in the shadow of Hakatori, right? Because like right now in our team, you see how he shines. He can literally just kill everyone, and he can be a star player, but they can't both be in one team and have the same impact on it.
Yeah.
And I think with the Spyro, it was the hardest one, because like everyone wanted Spyro on the team, but we just knew that NaVi gonna make a change. And in our heads, it was kind of obvious that they're gonna change Saucet and take Spyro in, because like we were just like 90% sure. It's like, well, why wouldn't
that's what everybody thought. But that's the same thing, right? Everybody looked at like the stats and the frags and the fights, and they were like, surely Saucet has to go. Fairest IGLing, Saucet must go. It's like what everyone in the world thought that was going to happen. But NaVi didn't think so, right?
Yeah, and after that, we all understand that they want Boostig. Of course, they want like to have Boostig, because like in our eyes it was like how they can keep Boostig, Diffix, and Hakatori in the same team.
Yeah,
like, it's impossible. They are 3-star players. They can't all of them shoot. One of them is gonna be like out of play.
Yeah.
And like whenever we understood that they're trying out Boostig, we instantly came to Spyro and told him as well that like, do you want to join us? Do you want to stay with PB after the global and stuff? And he said that he's like, when he's heard what we want to build, and of course he wanted to work with Hirozen as well, because they worked in Twisted Minds as well. Spyro just know me as well, because like we were competing against each other for so long. He just said like, let's try it. And like after he played some couple matches with us, like some scrim games, he said like, wow, I'm in. Like, I like the team, I like the structure. I'm just nice. That's how it went.
It sounds good, and like it seems like the roles are very clear, and it seems like the roles make sense. And where do you put yourself on that roster? Like, I would say Pudetta is the IGL, Diffix is the star player, Spyro is kind of like a little bit of a support player sometimes. Where would you put yourself?
I mean, I'm just like, whenever we started to build as well, Hirozen just told me that I can't be an IGL because I'm more into the guy who is like controlling the fights and like what the team actually need to do in these fights. So basically, I'm the core IGL, and I'm helping Alexi as well, because he has not that much experience. Like whenever he's calling, I just know that Hirozen wants, and if I see he's like struggles a little bit, I just can take it in my hands and just make a call and become an IGL for this like 3-4 minutes, because like I have this status and stuff. But yeah, most times it's just core IGLing, helping PWD with the confidence and this, like basically just 2 of us building the game. We're just doing the macro, and the boys are just doing their own thing. And at the same time, like Spyro just can step up as well as second star player, as we saw on this tournament. Like he just put up the same stats that he was putting for NLT back then. And so I'm basically can co-IGL and IGL, and if like Spyro feeling the game, I can move to the support player. So basically I'm just trying to fill in some of the problems that we have that I can see. And like, of course, as well, like on this tournament, it's like, think about it. I was preparing for this tournament that much, but 1 week before the tournament, I went into the hospital.
Oh,
and like I was laying down in the hospital for 3-4 days, didn't play the game, and I have to come back and play the finals. And even my teammates didn't know if he doesn't have to play the finals, because like in the hospital they said that I might need the surgery. I had like a problem with my stomach. So basically, I
Sucks.
just came in, didn't play the game, and I need to carry the finals. So
Yeah.
like, it was insanely. I only started to feel the game on like third day or something of the final. Everything else is like not that much confidence because you don't play.
Yeah. That's rough. You still won a nice clutch against Gustav. I saw that. I didn't even realize when that happened. It was like group stage, I think.
Yeah, but I still died in the finals because I don't have a fucking ammo on my gun. Like literally, he survived on 1 HP because I only had 3 bullets.
Yeah, you even like you hit both bullets as well. You put him to like 3 HP or some shit, right? Like
He was literally one.
yeah, I think he was actually
if I had one more
3
bullet,
HP. If you just have 3 bullets, he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah, it was super unlucky there.
It was so messy. Yeah. It was an interesting game because you both were just like spamming through the bush, and I was like, I thought Gustav had lost it for sure because he had to prone and stand up, right? But then you just didn't have enough bullets.
At the same time, it's just like, because Diffie said he's 1 HP. I went for the spray and then I didn't reload because like I thought he's still 1 HP and like 2 bullets is enough.
Yeah.
And like whenever he stood up, I understood that Diffie's like only hit him once.
Yeah. It's a classic. It's the 1 HP call. It happens so much.
I mean, it boosts your confidence, but sometimes it plays a fucking.
I think in those situations, like it's actually good if you don't say it. But in a lot of situations, you can't say it.
Yeah.
We had a call like it's either half HP or like 1 HP, and sometimes you can call half HP if it actually matters. Like if you shoot some guy with a fucking DMR like 100 meters away or whatever, then it's always 1 HP.
Yeah. For sure, because like, people actually thinking like, oh, my teammate is cracked, he's hitting all the shots.
Exactly.
I just need 1 bullet.
Oh, and I just have to hit 1 more, and then like you're just a little bit more locked in, Yeah.
Yeah, and then you start shooting him, and you see like you shot 1 bullet, second,
1 shot. Yeah. You have a mini, you hit him 4 more times. It's like unlucky. You mentioned something there, like you're just kind of filling in. When you look at like some of your past teams, it feels like you were always like replaced by a star player. Like you had the NaVi thing with Uber coming in. You had the VP thing with Beamy coming in, who's now been absolutely carrying super hard. Can you talk a little bit about what you think the reasons were? Because from the outside, it seems like people just wanted more, more flashy, more impact, maybe more craziness. You think that's true, or do you think I have no idea because I'm just looking from the outside in?
I mean, with NaVi thing, it was probably a deserved kick right there, because it was like bad times. It was like the times where we just moved to Serbia, started playing from there, had a pretty rough tournament, and like our mentality was pretty rough because like you literally were like sitting home back then, and then you just instantly have to move because of what happened back then. And I mean, in NaVi it was deserved because like I didn't perform that well. My mentality was shit. So, like I didn't want to do anything. It was like times where I was just laying in the bed. It was just a hard time there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the time that I could stay in NaVi and become a Nigel, but it was like both ways right there, that it's either me or Melman back then, because you can understand that Ali, an example, can't go.
Yeah.
It just went for me because like I didn't want to become a Nigel back then, so it just like went that way, that I'm gonna be Gig. And after that, like playing couple of like years in the qualifiers, building Woo, I understood that like I have a better understanding of the game that like most of the Europeans back then, or most of the players with whom I played. And I started like being more about like how to build a team, how to make a structure that works, how to like have a game style that actually works. And in VP it actually worked, right? But at the same time it was like a pretty shit EWC, and after that I got kicked, even though I mean we had a pretty like bad memories about that, because like we still don't like contact with Nixie or EB or anyone in the team, because like I thought it's kind of rough gig back then. And I mean I have it both ways, right? They took Beamy and it worked out, but you can see it in both ways, right? It worked out, but in my head, for example, it worked out, but the structure changed completely. Because I could be in the team, like, for example, you can, like, see it in the other way. Like, for example, they're not changing me, they're changing EB, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're having Beamy in. We're having pretty same structure that we had. Because, like, Luca and Nixie gonna be star players as it was last year, right? They were the one who is carrying.
Yeah.
And Beamy steps in as a player as he was in Foot. More like an anchor support player that he does. And I'm moving to Hydra role there.
Mm.
And it would work as well, in my opinion, because like the structure doesn't change. We
Yeah.
have pretty same team VP that we build it, and it's the same team, but they just went other way, and it worked out in the way of global, I guess, because they wasn't performing on the back full because they were trying to play the same way that they played with me, but it can't work because you have a completely different
Completely
player in your
different
team right
player.
now.
Yeah.
And on the global as well, when they were playing groups, like in my opinion, they were like one of the worst teams from EU when we'd be saying about the group stage, right? Because I didn't. They always were blue healing and stuff, like just trying to get these points just to get to the final. And on the finals, they actually understood that Beamy has to be a star player right now, and they just need to build all the plays around him, and then it's gonna work. So you can basically see that Beamy just stepped in as a star player. Luca just moved more to the support play with EB, and Nixie's like still a star player with him as well. So they basically just changed all the system, and as soon as they understood it, it started to work.
Yeah. You think it's that maybe the EB Nixie connection is just a little too strong, so that's why EB will never get removed? I think these guys are just a duo at this point, because from the outside it feels a little bit that way. Like,
I mean, they are a duo.
Yeah.
They 100%. I feel like EB is. I mean, you can't tell it. Like, I respect it as well because EB the one who just took him in WoW, right? Because like we started WoW with EB, and he said like let's bring Nixie in, and I just said let's bring Pesto in. So that's basically how you had the first team of WoW when we had Pesto and Nixie in. And of course, like I think he's like an elder brother for Nixie because like everything that he actually helps him a lot with everything, like because of his experience in the real life. He's actually like saying how to eat and stuff, how to wear. And of course, like when you have this connection, I would say it's like a Monacy and Nika connection, you know, like in CS. Of course, you want to anything, you want to stay together like for forever, I guess, because like it's hard to kick like him, for example, or just to change him, even if they're gonna underperform. I can't see like how they're gonna change him because it's like literally like a heart of VP going out for next year. Just a strong connection of it, and like I respect it. You can understand it as well.
Yeah, makes sense.
At one time, like you have to be. Nah, no. It's just how it is. If I had a player like this for whom I'm growing up from like T3, T4 teams to like actually competing on the lands, it's actually like hard to do it.
Yeah.
So I can understand it in this way. And like otherwise you can't kick anyone. Who you gonna kick? Like Luca? No way. He's the most like consistent player last year. And of course it comes to me because like I'm the only one who is not like natively speaking English and might fuck up sometimes. And at the same time, like I had some problems, like health issues last year as well. So I had like whenever we played scrims and stuff, I had some problems with not being that active or calling some stuff, and it might be like one of the cases as well that they told me. But
yeah,
I have like some different opinions on it. But like it went like this way, and it's fine.
Yeah,
happened.
And it worked out for both of you, so it's not the end of the world. Worked out for Geekay, worked out for VP. There was a time where you were in PUBG Mobile, right? You were doing like coaching for a while.
Yeah, I think it was like.
It's a while ago, but it was like I was gonna say, is it like almost a year or something like that, maybe? Or I don't know how long it was.
I think 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and how long did you do the coaching?
For half a year.
Half a year.
They asked me to join in August, and I went out because the team just fell apart in January, I guess. So yeah, half a year.
Mm-hmm. How's that experience? Can you talk a little bit about it? I think a lot of PUBG viewers don't really know anything about PUBG Mobile.
It was kind of fun because the team that I went in, it was like Gaming Gladiators back then. It was one of the strongest teams of EMEA region, and I actually like. I mean, it's completely different from outside of you with how they shoot, with how they rotate. So I can't like help them with anything in the micro adjustments, like how they shoot, how they pick, because like, it's a third person, and like I don't understand. But macro wise, you just know that the PUBG Mobile is like 2 years behind or something with how they play. So I can. I made some impact. So, but the only thing is that I understood for myself is like we were playing some EU Championship as well as like same as a pack, and I was making a team who was always playing Edge. I was trying to give them an understanding that in some of the ways, like as we understand it right now, you have some circles that you have like a fighting line in from the edge, and it's pretty simple that you can play. But in the same ways that you're coming from the other side, you don't have a fight line, and you need to send it. Otherwise, you're dead with 0 points. And I was trying to like describe it to them so they understand. Sometimes you have to send, sometimes you have to play edge.
Yeah.
And like in EU, it worked out. We like took the first place, we won. Everyone was shocked with how they play. Like everyone was cheering for me as a coach as well because they have much more audience and stuff. But like whenever we came to the global in Malaysia, everything just fell apart because the players are more. I mean, you just know how it is. Like in EU, it's more weak. Whenever you come to the global stage, the players are just much stronger. The macro is stronger, and I would say in mobile, it's like Asian players are much more like confident in what they do. The macro style is much better and compared to you. And whenever we came, the boys were trying to do all of this, and it kind of worked, but kind of didn't. And then at the time when we finished the group stage, they said, "Let us play our edge style because like the things that you said to us didn't work." And I said that you can't do it in the middle of the tournament. It's the biggest mistake if you change something. And they said still that they're gonna change it. And after that, they just like got like 10 points in the day after playing Edge because they couldn't understand what they have to do.
Yeah.
And that's how it just went. We didn't make it to the finals and we just went home.
Were they younger, the PUBG Mobile players? Or
I
like
mean,
how's
you
the
just
age?
know them. You know them right now because like 2 of them is playing in Team Spirit right now. It's Kitsune and Matic. And I had Meku, I don't think he's playing right now, and I had Qwizzy, who is playing for Virtus Pro right now in PUBG Mobile. So 2 of them is like 19, 18, 19, 20. Kitsune is like even older than me. He's like 26. And Matic is like same age as me, like 23, 24.
Okay.
So they basically, it was easier because they're not 60.
Yeah.
Basically, they're grown men and it's easier to talk with them and understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If they were 16 or 15, it would be hard.
Yeah. Then you're doing a different kind of coaching. You like have to just get the kids to work together. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. How does the esports feel? Is it like is it the same as PUBG? Like, is there things that are really different? Like, there's probably more fans, especially at a tournament like Malaysia, right? But is there big differences? You feel like when you go into a PUBG LAN and a PUBG Mobile LAN, or?
I mean, the one that I was in, it was more that they have a difference, right? Because like when you go to the PUBG Mobile LAN, the global one, they have 2 different countries where they play. So they have group stages in one country and the finals in completely another. If you qualify from the groups, you're just going back home, waiting until the groups are over and going to the finals. This is, I think, the big difference because the group stage, they play without audience at all.
Oh, okay.
If you qualify to the LAN, they're actually playing on big arenas with a lot of viewers.
Yeah.
Because like I think the last one was in Turkey and they played on the basketball arena and like arena was most likely with all the audience because in Turkey the PUBG Mobile was very big.
Yeah.
So I think this is the biggest difference. Other than that, I just remember that PUBG Mobile, the global one, was at the same booth that was PGS1 and PGS2.
Really?
In Malaysia, in the same computer club, in the same thing. if you remember it.
Okay, yeah.
Because like I remember
that's
watching
not big,
PGS1
you know?
and PGS2, yeah, and it was in the same.
It was only PGS1. PGS2 was Gamers 8, like Saudi. But yeah.
In PGS1 it was in the same, but it's grouped. And it's only getting big when you're going to the finals, because like whenever it's finals, you're getting the big arena.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, it sort of makes sense, I guess. So they don't have to have a big arena for when there's not that many fans, and then if you make it to the finals, it's big, and they can fill it.
You know that computer club in Malaysia, it was so shit.
It was not bad for us. It was not bad for us because like
it was fucking GG.
But for us, it was like a nice entry point, you know, like it's because it's a LAN, but it's not really. Like you're sitting in your own room with the door closed. There's no audience screaming at you, you know, like.
You still remember that some of these rooms didn't have AC.
Yeah,
it's sweating there and sitting like you're
I remember
die.
going to the thing where you have to draw a number out of the hat. And if you get a bad booth, everybody around you, all the coaches around you were like, "Oh!" And then if somebody got a big, good booth, they were like celebrating. It was so stupid.
I think this was only problem with that booth because it's literally insane.
Yeah.
Some of them were like.
Some of them didn't have a roof, so you just would hear the casters in the teams next to you. Yeah. And then other ones at the bottom floor, they were like AC, roof, super quiet, super chill. You know, like it was.
Yeah.
There's huge differences. It's not a good thing. But yeah, cool. There's one thing also that I thought about now. I saw you on Gaming Gladiator as a coach. I thought it was probably you bringing Mad Bulls to the WU, right? Because Mad Bulls like a PUBG Mobile org as well.
Yeah.
You always seem to have an org, like, you know, in your back pocket.
I was bringing someone.
Yeah.
There is a meme already about it.
How does that happen? Because it feels like you always have an org ready. Like nobody knew who Geekay was until they signed your team. Like, how does that go?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's that hard to actually bring someone. Like, when people are saying that it's actually hard to find someone, it's you just know that. I mean, I might call myself a smart person, right? I just know that what the orgs actually want. Like, of course, like if you bring them the roster that they don't know the players, they don't know anyone. Like, why would they sign? But like, whenever you have the names, then everyone like they're gonna be interested. Of course, there is a risk coming up behind it because like you never played together. It's the only risk. Why wouldn't they sign you?
Yeah.
I mean, the big part about it is that we would have been not Geekay, but we actually were in contact with 5 or 6 orgs and we were talking with them and everyone was interested. So it's basically we could have been Team Spirit, but they actually didn't take the risk because of the PUBG Corp. And at the same time, we could have been NIP. NAP, who is like in China right now, but we chose Geekay instead of NAP.
Interesting.
And, like there is a lot of options and back there and stuff.
Okay. If I ever make a team, I'll call you. You can get like 5%, and you give me an org, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably when I'm gonna end up playing, I can be just the guy who's just fighting an orcs and just living on the percentages and stuff.
It's a game plan, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Talk a little bit more about PC. You guys had like a super consistent group stage. I think it was just like 40 points on both days. So like, you know, not exciting, but job done. Very consistent throughout the 2 days. And then you start with that horrible day one, right? Like nothing works. 13 points, I think, last place. You already told the story in the interview that you guys watched the Twisted Minds comeback and said we can do that too. That was really nice. But like, what happened in that first day? How did it go so bad?
I mean, I think it's one of the reasons is that even how many experience do you have, you can't handle the pressure sometimes. Because like you can see, like if you watch it twice and stuff, like the first play, how we played, we were just keeping the splits, waiting for the circle to come, and hoping it's gonna be like our circle and we're gonna play it. But that's not how we actually play. Like we are the team who actually need some space. We are building the space around us to play the games. That's why actually after that it seems like we are getting all the hardships. We are like getting, how do you say, like gifted all the time because like we're always in the circle in the good positions, but it's all the hard work pays also with how we actually keeping our space up. and understanding what we actually need to do. But on the first day, we did nothing of it. We were just like splitting some of the compounds that doesn't make sense. They don't give us any like space because we were like a little bit shaking first officials after like 3 months of preparation, and you want to do it good, and because of that, mentally, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
And at the same time, of course, like first games, we're starting with Myanmar, and there is only one team who is actually like, we don't like being on the same side as well as like Virtus.pro.
Mm-hmm.
And you have both games that you have to play near them, and you just know how they're playing the same game that we do, like keeping the space,
Going for some early kills sometimes if they
yeah,
can.
trying to set up some kills if people make mistakes. And this is the only one team, because like they're tier 1 team as well, right? They're S team as well in Europe, and because you're playing near them, it's kind of like if you do the mistakes, and it's kind of personal for us as well, because like we know that they play the same style, and you don't want to like lose to them. You just understand that like first game you're just dying from them, nobody pushed them in the back and stuff. You're just like unlucky because like you are near the VP. Second game we found out that Beamy in the blue and still lost it to the Bushido, who just, I think the second game was the one that made us tilt, because we lost to the Bushido. Irak just went in the blue, killed 3 of us, and it was like my responsibility, but he just like went prone all in, and I couldn't hear him, so he just stood up, killed 3 of us, and it was like the most tilting. You just know that you just had the hard shift, you just need to win one fight, and you win the game. And you're actually losing this fight, and like with no offense, you're losing it to the team who you actually think that is not as good as you.
Yeah.
And of course it's like tilting you and stuff, and like after that it just like comes all together. Like next game you're getting a shift on your side, but you're doing something wrong. You're getting all these hard shifts, but nothing like works and stuff. And the last game, like you're actually sitting on the star, but you're still making some decisions that even rookies can like make mistakes like this. But we do it because of the mentality that we had already after the 5 games that we played.
Yeah, it's super interesting because
it's a snowball effect, you know.
Yeah, and it's like PUBG is like a game where in a best of 6 you can get really lucky and you can get really unlucky, but it's not like it's just circles. Like on the first day, so there's an analyst who he just calculates the different distances to each circle shift for each team. So basically just how lucky did you get with circles?
Yeah.
And on the first day, you had the best circles out of all 16 teams.
Yeah.
And you end up with 13 points and you're like completely broken. And then on the second day, you are third worst in shifts. Like there's the third most distance. Basically, he just says, you're in a circle, new circle shifts. And then he says, how far away from you from that circle? And he calculates out how center were you. So even if you're a full center team, you're always going to be closer to the next shift, right? But he subtracts that. And you were the third most unlucky team on that second day. And that's your 87-point day, because it circles matter sometimes, but they really fucking don't other times. If you have your space, if you have your lines, like you said, right? Maybe you killed someone of the team next to you early game, so you know you can just bully them the rest of the game. You can just keep looking for them the rest of the game and shit. Like there's so many things that influences it, and you can just really like break the luck completely, it seems like.
I mean, we actually had like jokes around already on the third game of the second day that like we actually like our heroes and just thought like, why do you just guys play the worst circles that you can't play with like 16 points, and the games where you just don't need to do shit, you're just playing 0 points.
Yeah,
I mean it's always like this, because like I think it's you have these games. I mean, you just know this as a coach as well. You have some games where you're getting these 9 circles on you, but you don't shoot anyone because like your compound is not a farming compound.
Yeah.
And it's like same as the last game, like of the day 2, where we were like just 4 kills staying on the coastline, but you don't see anyone.
Yeah.
But it's much.
But then if you get second place that game because AT kills Diffix and maybe like you lose a 1v1 or whatever, and then suddenly you get second place with 2 kills, you're like, holy fuck, you know, we suck at the game. What the fuck was this? But like it can happen sometimes, but it feels so bad, right?
Yeah, but I think like the mentality of our team is the more that everyone is getting more hyped if you're playing a hard game with 16 kills, winning it like from the scratch.
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting it somewhere and just shooting people. Like the first game mattered the most, I think, the first day that we played on the Wrangle. It just was up and downs because like you just read the split, you made it to the Pokamo all the way heal, Alexi clutching Twisted 1v3, then you're just fighting EF as well, and like you have a such game where you always fight and you just clap everyone.
You're super hyped at the end.
Yeah. And you just understand that you can like actually clap everyone. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
If you just play your game.
I watched that game back, and I was like, there was a moment there where if you're a little unlucky, you probably just die, because when you had the Twisted Minds fight,
fire, if they come, I was screaming about it.
If they just come to you
all the time,
they should just come to you. Honestly, I think they make a big mistake that game, but they, for some reason, they love to fight foot there. If they come to you, your game's probably over, and then you say, oh, 9 points or 10 points, and you say, oh, GG, we did our best. But a little bit of luck that they go the other way.
Sometimes the luck matters. Because like whenever I got knocked by EF, I was already saying that, wow, they're gonna pull up right now, but this is insane.
Yeah.
And then I see they're not pulling up, they're starting a fight, I was like, wow, they just did a fucking big mistake not like cleaning us up.
Yeah.
And, like in the end, you're just losing it.
I mean, it's, and sometimes that's the luck you need, right? Like sometimes it's not the circles, but it's just the team next to you makes a decision and it's really fucking good for you. And then you're looking at 25 points instead of 9, like it's such a big difference there.
Completely big difference. And that's why you kind of love PUBG, because it's like not only you playing against one team, but it's like 15 other teams with different mindset and different understanding.
Yeah.
That can just like help you out if they do not the thing that they actually need to do.
It's also why every game's so different, right? And like, it's just there's so many people doing so many things every game. It's so hard to understand and predict what's going to happen.
Yeah, the main point, I guess.
Yeah, it's fun. Last thing I'm going to ask you about PC. There was a little bit of drama about the whole Bushido situation. For the viewers who don't know, which I think is probably very few, there's a new rule that you're not allowed to Killfeed track. You're not allowed to communicate with your coach anymore, or you're not allowed to have a fifth person Killfeed tracking. And you're not allowed to communicate with your coach during the games. And there's a video of them doing those things. And there's a lot of people that are very upset that they didn't get punished. But there's not a lot of players or teams speaking out about it. The only team that's really behind it is Ascend, because they got 9th. So obviously they would have gotten in if Bushido got banned. Do you have an opinion on it? You want to talk about it at all?
I mean, I just have like both ways. I can understand Ascend, but at the same time, I just know that. I mean, Bushido just fucked up so badly. Like, I don't know how you can like leak that you have a coach speaking and you have like everything having everything in this on the vote that people can see it is like insane. Like only like seeing this, it has to be like break the rules. It's enough evidence that they just did something wrong. But at the same time, like everyone knows that everyone just like I'm pretty sure like 6 or 7 teams were Killfeed tracking in the finals as well.
If not more.
Yeah, because like you cannot never see a solo proning behind in the blue just coming out and killing someone because he got instantly like killed. I got killed like 3-4 times with like random guy just watching in the blue at one point.
Yeah.
But he never, like, if it was a LAN, he would never even watch there. So it's basically like Ascent got unlucky. I don't know, like unlucky with the decision, but like at the same time, it's your point that they didn't make it from the.
They're not. They're also not saying like, oh, we deserve to be there, because they know they got fucking 9th in last chance. But it is. And I agree with what you're saying. I think there's a ton of people using a Killfeed tracker, but it will be impossible to prove it to anyone unless they're really fucking up. So that's why we had the rule in the first place, right? It was always we can't prove that you're doing it, so we can't make a rule against it. Basically,
that's basically the thing, because like saying that the Killfeed tracking, everyone knows that most of the teams Killfeed tracking, but like whenever you see this bot leaked up. Like, I think PUBG should have done something about it, because like you literally can hear that they actually like doing something. I'm pretty sure if they were, if they were like only open qualified team, it would be something. But because of the interest that you have, like, if it was like a non-partner team taking a slot from a partner team, it would be different. But like whenever you have both partner teams, you don't wanna like have them in that light that they're actually cheating and we made this team like a partner team.
I don't know what the reasons are for no punishment, but I think it's just, for me, it's crazy.
I think Krafton just don't like this drama because like when we played in China, you know that the 17 team like had a teaming with the other Chinese teams, and for them to make it to the finals, they just deducted 2 points. That they made it to the finals and they deducted 2 points. How you can even do it?
Yeah.
But I think they just don't like drama and they don't like these harsh decisions. And at one point you can understand them because they never been in situations like I never remember the situation that Krafton made something like strict, and probably because of it, they don't want to like do something strict because they just don't know how it's gonna turn out.
But what are they gonna do if another team now gets caught Killfeed tracking? Are they gonna again not punish them, or are they gonna punish them? Because both of those things would suck, right?
I think it's right now. It's gonna be. It was like first time, right, when it came out like this, and on the first time, you know, it's like always like with your parents. Like first time,
it's a warning.
But if you're gonna do it second time, you're dead. So it's probably gonna be the first time where they're gonna make some decisions on it, like see it, analyze it a little bit, and if it comes to the second time, they already know what actually they need to do because they saw the hate, they saw people just writing it on the Twitch channel. I saw it as well. Like
everybody saw it until they started banning it. Yeah.
So now I think they just know that like if it's gonna happen second time, if we do nothing, they're just gonna kill us. So we have to make some actions.
It was always, when people always ask me like, why is Killfeed tracking allowed in Europe and not in Americas? And I always said, I don't know, but I'm really happy it's allowed, because when it gets forbidden, I know a lot of people will still do it. And then I will just be at a disadvantage. And that's happening right now. Like, I think there is very few teams who see this situation and say, okay, we don't Killfeed track anymore. I think they see that everybody else is doing it and they see that it doesn't get punished, and they're like, we would be really stupid if we would stop. And I think that's just a really rough situation to be in.
I think it's impossible for online. Like you can't control it.
Yeah.
Like you literally can't control it because there is gonna be a way how people gonna do it. Even like if you, I don't know, like everyone who has a second monitor, for example, I have only one monitor, I can't do it, but like everyone who has a second monitor just
you have a phone though, you know, you're
just having a document and you just see how it's just going red all the time. It's basically you just can have it on LAN, because on the LAN you can't do anything about it. Like, only if you have like certain people in your team who can like literally Killfeed track. But other than that, it's online, you can't do anything about it.
I had obviously lots of conversations about it on stream, and my one idea is that in general, I think I wouldn't be against it if the kill feed would only show up if you're in the knock radius. Like right now you can see a knock until 1 kilometer, right? And you can see kills all across the map. And I think it wouldn't even be that bad if you're in Valle del Mar and Beamy kills Qwizzy in Cruz del Valle, then you just don't see it because you're 7 kilometers away. So
you just want to do it. You just want to do it as in PUBG Mobile, right? Because they have like a hidden kill feed.
Yeah.
I mean,
it doesn't have to be the same as PUBG Mobile. They also have the anonymous one, right? Where it's like player 4 kill player 3 or whatever. Yeah. It doesn't have to even be that, but I don't think that's bad either. I think that could be nice for Smash format, for example. Right? Where in Smash format you target teams, but you don't know who that team is. But I'm just saying, why should you see that somebody dies 8 kilometers away? Right? Why is that information that you should have? And I think, yeah, sure, it adds skill, but honestly, I think it adds more problem than it adds skill in a way, you know?
I mean, at the same time, I don't know, it's actually like a 50-50, because like, for example, you're just rotating from Chuma like we are, and then you see a fucking face fight with GG, and you just know that like most of the high CN is free, because you just probably connect, like, fought somewhere near the hangar or something. and you can like just backfill it if you're gonna do it quicker. It actually gives some skill to the team of the macro understanding what's happening on the map, and because of that, some of the teams from from the hardest position in the circle just can get the best spot only because of the kill feed tracking. But at the same time, because of that, if you see it on the other side of the map, you still always can kill feed track completely and understand what's actually going on. So it's basically gonna ruin some of the teams who are actually paying attention on the kill feed and making macro decisions based on it. But at the same time, it can help like kill the kill feed tracking. But you're gonna see some of the teams still staying on the edge instead of doing something interesting.
Yeah, true. It's a good point. It's not a problem that's easy to solve. That's the thing. It's a hard problem to solve. I just think this went down in the worst way possible. Like, having someone get caught and not punished, I think is always really, really bad, because it makes people like not trust in the rules, right? It makes you wonder like what's going on. I
mean, I just hope it's, like, as I said, the first one is warning, and the second one they have to do something about it.
Yeah, or they change the rule back, but that's also not very PUBG to do. Like, they're not big on reversing or admitting mistakes. Is not really a thing that PUBG or Krafton does.
I think one of the reasons as well is that we just got blast right, and it's the first tournament that they're making and organizing.
But I think that decision, I think, is almost only Challenger mode, no? Like, Challenger mode are all the admins and stuff. Because Blast is the production company.
Yeah, but that's the thing as well with the Challenger mode. I remember we had some questions, and the Challenger mode never, like, they're replying in 1 or 2 days when you need an answer right now.
Yeah.
That's the problem as well. It wasn't that bad with the Seatlon, you know, like you just ask Seatlon.
Seatlon was very, very good.
Insta reply.
Yeah. I think in general that whole company was like, they were very good at doing PUBG. They knew exactly what they were doing. They had all the people that knew PUBG.
At the same time, you just know that like if the pro player is just saying that this team is cheating, they don't need evidence. They're just gonna look up into them. They will just like make sure that like they are not breaking the rules and stuff, and if they see that they're completely cheating, but they can't like find any evidence, they're still gonna kick them because they just know they're cheating. They don't need an evidence.
Yeah, that's a different problem as well. It's a little bit the same things with the kill feed tracking. It's like you can't prove that a lot of people are cheating, even though you can see it, right? Like we both know that there's a lot of people in PEC using a kill feed tracker, but we can't prove it. So then a tournament organizer can say, I can't prove anything, so I can't do anything. And they're like on the safe side, you know, they can't get in trouble because they're just sticking to the rules. And then other tournament organizers will say, well, we see the problem, we understand the players, we'll try to find a solution. But that's more work, and that's not something that you get paid extra for, you know? Like Challenger mode can just say, no evidence, and that's done for them.
Like 3 hours and look into this.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
And I still remember these times. Like I think we still have it on because like we made a video right after our comeback. So we basically just made a video and stuff. I think it's still in the video when I'm coming out of the blue, and then one of the players just sees me and instantly like turns around and kills me. And I remember like me saying like, "Oh, you're so smart, but you just saw me coming up from the blue, and you're just watching it for 3 minutes."
Yeah. There was a lot of moments. There was also some denies, for example, where the team that's in second place, they instantly know, okay, it's 1v4, I'm denying instantly. You know, they're not thinking about it. They're not peeking the window to see if it's maybe a 1v4. They don't heal in the blue. They just go deny in the blue because they know 100% fact this is a 1v4, you know? There's a lot of moments like that where you can kind of see it. But you can never prove it. You can never say anything. It's an unsolvable situation.
I mean, so some of these problems are obvious to us when you see, but like for the people who is watching it, they just sometimes think that you're just doing it for luck, you know, like he just knows it's 1v4, but like whenever you see it from like our point of view, you just already know that
you can knows. Like maybe one of the guys who's dead on the team is really smart and tracked the kill feed and saw that it was 1v4. You can never say that it's 100%. It's
not always 100%. It's most of the time like I would say the team who didn't fight most of the times, right? And they can kill feed track. They can actually understand all the kill feed. But like if you're the team who just fought 3 times in a row and you still like you're getting knocked, your team is getting knocked, and like on the right you still see like other people are dying. You're never gonna like remember it.
No
but
chance.
Like, at the same time they just like standing up and actually understanding like there is a solo on our right.
Mhm.
This team is a free man.
Yeah.
Like we actually just understood all this Killfeed from the nowhere. You just can see it.
It's
That actually works.
And then there's a lot of situations where you don't see it, where they just make the correct push, right? Like they just push the 2-man instead of the 3-man because they just know. But in our heads, we're just like, oh no, that was a good push, but we don't know that it was because of the Killfeed tracking.
No, the Killfeed tracking make the game so faster for the teams because the decisions are making much faster. Like whenever you just fought someone, because of understanding, like you don't need to like clear some of the angles. You can literally understand what you just need to do in the basic moment because you just know what is going on the map.
Yeah.
And it's basically why in the online some of the teams just making everything so fast, and on the LAN you just see completely different gameplay because they just need to, like, if it's a smart team, they're gonna clear every single angle before doing something.
Yeah.
And online, sometimes you just can like, oh fuck it, I just know there's no one here.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. You qualified to PGS. You said a little bit in the interview that you're gonna chill for a few days, get some stuff done. I'm sure there's visa stuff and everything, but you're gonna prepare for PGS as well. What do you think about the other regions? I'm gonna start with Korea. DNF is completely dominating Korea. You think
they're insane?
You think they're insane, or you think Korea is just not that good, or is it both?
I think, yeah. First of all, the region is not that good. Like it just fall off completely from like 2021, I guess, 2020. After that time, it just fell off so much. But at the same time, the team that they have is actually insane. With what they have to build, every single player that they have is like completely on the road that they have to have. And like I actually like watching them play and what they're actually doing. Like of course they smash in Korea, like nobody can do anything against them. But you can see the team play that they actually have. It's not that like just running around and killing everyone solo, but they're actually making some team play, some team pushes, like double picks and stuff, and you see that they're just making it serious.
Yeah. They throw a lot of util for each other as well. I see that all the time. It's quite nice. Like the small little things in team fights.
Two things, yeah. Just flashing for each other, just double picking, and you can see that they are taking it serious.
Yeah.
And the players as well, like Heaven, insane. Salute is even more insane.
Salute is just him, yeah. And Gumin is, I think, maybe the most individually skilled IGL that I can think of right now. Like he's clean himself too, you know. He's not like quiet on that team. I feel like he actually frags. He can actually 1v4, you know.
I think Alexi is still gonna clap him, but
okay.
I mean, I'm literally for now. I think that in EU at least, Alexi is probably the most individually skilled IGL who can actually go and frag out. And you basically could see it, like with him just running, like cleaning everyone it's the thing as well, like because like sometimes you just know that he can kill everyone and become a star player for 2 minutes when he needs it. And at the same time he understands as well, if he's gonna go kill someone, he don't need to think about the macro because he has me on the other side thinking about it while he's killing everyone.
That's the hard part, right? It's like getting in the zone of I'm killing people now, I'm not thinking about the game. Like I feel like that's why so many IGLs stop fragging when they start IGLing. There's so much in your head all the time.
I think this is the threat right now as well, because I think we as a team as well gonna be more consistent after the LANs, because we first of all gonna meet each other, right? And it's still gonna be a better connection from me and Alexi. So he can trust, like whenever I'm gonna run and kill someone, like for example, Qwizzy just gonna think about all the macro decisions. I don't need to think about everything. I just need to listen and do it.
That's good.
That's the main part. But yeah, other regions as well. I don't know what happened in APAC. Oh, China? I mean, Pero is insane.
Yeah. It's kind of the same as Korea in a way, right? I think China is not insane as a region, but Pero is really, really good.
Yeah, but still, in China, they have pretty good teams. Like, I saw CTG or whoever they call like, I don't remember. Like, I remember that
CCG is the better one, I think, right?
Whatever is Axid playing.
It's CCG, I think.
Yeah, I want them to be on the LAN, actually. They're pretty good. Like, this kid is cracked. I saw him, like, clashing 1v4 and stuff like that. And other than that, with the macro rotation that he does, he's pretty smart.
He was really good last season already, but, like, his team was just never good enough. But but that guy individually is insane, for sure. They also have like, I mean, 17 looks okay, I guess. They have this game start win that's like kind of people from big teams. Like they have like two old new happy players and like one Tiamba player, one Pero player.
I mean, I like NiP as well. NiP, I mean. I want them to make it to the LAN as well because they're pretty solid as well. I mean, sometimes they just play bad because I saw some of the big finals that they didn't.
Yeah, bro, they had I think they had I'll look it up, but I think they had a 3-point day. I think.
Yeah, something like that.
It was fucking crazy. They came back hard on the second day, but I think they literally had 3 points in 6 games. Yeah, in one of their weekly finals.
Even though I watched that twice and they didn't do anything bad, they literally just lost their fights. Just like actually like win one of the fights, you're having like 10+ point game, like 15 point game, and it was always like coming to one fight, and they were just literally unlucky that day. Yeah,
it was crazy because then they come back, they play a second day that's like okay, and then in some of the weeks they looked really good, and some of the qualifiers they looked really good. They haven't looked good in a final yet. I think the last final they got 8th, so not super hot, but
it's pretty sad
solid.
To see NewHappy in 4IM still, because like I mean 4IM is a partner org, but
yeah,
I would say like if they come to the LAN, it's just gonna be the team who is not qualifying most of the time again.
They are like the worst global partner by a long distance.
If they're gonna come to the LAN and Qwizzy is gonna change ZPN again, there is no chance they're going to the final, because like I can't understand that decision. NewHappy is like everyone just left it, and like the roster right now is just dead. Like, they just took some of the players and like not even close to the 2021 NewHappy. But yeah, basically in China it's just more like the Pero 17. I mean, Pero is probably like insanely better than 17 right now.
Yeah,
it seems like it. And if they're gonna if they're gonna contest Twist, as they said, it's gonna be interesting to watch, because I can see like it's gonna be a hard fight, because like I can see that Twisted just know how to fight on the overload spots.
Yeah,
they just know every single angle. But at the same time, I just think that some of the players in Pero is just like top 5 in
the world.
Not in the world, but top 5 in like hot drops and stuff.
Yeah,
like Ming in the hot drop.
Yeah, Ming and Ike's left, bro. Like,
yeah, it's just hard to do something against them on the hot drop, and you just know how random it is as well at the same time.
I think Ike's left is kind of the same level as Example as a player. I think they're close, but then there's just more firepower left on Pero, I think, right now. But I think both of the teams, like you said, it's a hard fight, right? I think both teams are gonna struggle there. But yeah, I don't know much about APAC either. I just saw that Himas was by a really long stretch the best player in APAC, but his team didn't qualify. He was carrying super hard.
Something.
Yeah. So 3 slots, and AGG got 7th, so it wasn't even that close. Expendables got 6th as well, so they wouldn't have qualified.
Yeah, I mean, Arena is playing pretty good, I guess.
Arena is playing good, T5 is playing good. But it's fucking, like, if you look at how many games it is, right? It's 208 for thirds and 5. It's 204 for Arena. It's 200 for Day Trade. Like, it's giga close. For 24 games, it's really fucking close.
I mean, we were looking at this as well, because, like, we wanted to... understandable that we didn't want Day Trade to make it. Because, like, we have some loot spots. But at the same time, looking at this, I don't see Day Trade coming to fight us. Or even if they try, I don't see them coming to the officials, because they are the team who is always skipping.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
I think so too.
Why we watched.
They're a little different now, you know? They have a little bit of a different roster than the old Day Trade that we used to contest with in Primorsk and stuff. I think they have a little bit more, maybe more fragging power, I don't know.
I mean, they have Tigger, who was like, actually good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like so unlucky for Tigger, because like he's a pretty good lad. I like was chilling with him on the LAN that year. But like, imagine how unlucky he is. He went from E Arena to Day Trade, thinking that he's gonna be the partner right?
Yeah.
And he went to the day trade, who just missed the partner, and E-Arena got it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unlucky. It's weird. And then Nurens did the opposite, right? Like Nurens went to E-Arena, kind of probably like kicked from day trade, and then it is how it is.
I don't know, like the teams who are qualifying right now, it's a little bit weird, you know? Like it's weird to come to China not seeing FaZe.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest upset for me is not like seeing Sparking, like Team Liquid.
That was the last region we haven't talked about. That was crazy. Like I looked at the leaderboard after day 2 and I was like, okay, Liquid are doing it. They're fine. And then I don't know what happened. Like I know there was a clutch in the last game against them, you know, and that cost them the points, but that's just one game, right? Like that's not the tournament. But
no, I saw one of the games that would actually matter. It was like probably the run go before it. They were just camping someone on the road and they fucked up the camp and died.
Yeah.
And I think that costed a lot of points there.
Yeah. Purdy said that as well. He said like they made some mistakes, like standard mistakes. They threw some camps. They had like some rough games, but yeah, Americas was a crazy outcome because honestly, like, no, I don't think anybody would have expected 3 full Latam teams to make it. And then
yeah, I don't know how most of these teams are making it from luck. Like I can't understand how like Falcons are not getting the first again in the region.
Yeah.
And it's like this tournament is a little bit weird for me. Like not seeing Liquid or Falcons being first in America region is.
Yeah.
Because like I never think of America region as that strong region. For me, it's like 2-3 teams always playing and can always dominate it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty easy, but like it's always probably shows that if these 3 teams doesn't dominate it that much, it means they're not in the best shape right now. Because like literally if you're in the best shape, you just have to win it like always like
every time
60-70 points all the time.
The thing is also they didn't
just like a training for you, you know?
Yeah, and they didn't just lose it, they lost it by 30 points, right? Like Projector was 30 points ahead of Falcons. So Falcons had a bad day 1 of, you know, it happens, whatever.
They had a pretty same day as we did.
Yeah.
I think they had pretty same points as we did on the day 1.
Yeah, I think a little bit more actually. But
like 20 or something.
Yeah, like maybe like 20, 23, whatever, like a bad day. But still, you know, like it's no, they had 16, you're right, yeah. They had 16 on day 1.
Yeah, whenever you have like less than 20, it's like an awful day already.
Yeah. I don't know, it's interesting. Feels really bad for Liquid. I really thought they would be there. I was hoping they would be there, but it's rough, man. Like top 3 sometimes it's just hard.
I mean, I was so happy when they announced that it's gonna be 3 slots for EU this year.
Yeah.
Because like whenever you think about the 2 slots, insane. Whenever you think about the 3 slots and you see Twist and NaVi, you're like, oh, I mean, if you're on top 5, you make it already.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
It's so much better, and we have 32 team PGC this year. That's a huge difference as well from 24.
I just don't know if they fucked up with the announcement or we're still only having 2 tournaments getting the PGC points.
No, EWC qualifier will count, right?
Yeah, but they said it didn't. It was never on the Liquid PGA that it's giving the points. That's the main reason right now, because whenever they announced it, they only said that the pack gonna give you the points, so you only have like 2 tournaments getting the PGC.
But they did that last year as well, or the year before maybe they did that. I don't remember which year they did it. I think last year they basically announced it with 2 tournaments and then said, oh, by the way, EWC qualifier will give points. I remember talking to Sparrow in Pro Hub about that, because I was like, you know, you get second at the first event, you're kind of already locked in, and then suddenly there's 3 events, so it does change quite a bit. But
yeah, it's the same thing that you're thinking right now. When we won, you said like we're already in the PGC. But
I mean,
still, like even if it's 3 events, we are most likely in PGC as well.
I'm gonna look at the announcement, but you're gonna be right if you say that they announced it as only those 2. But I think that would be really bad.
If it's only these 2, it's like for the team like Aston, for example, who didn't make it to the finals.
Yeah.
Imagine it. You have to be top 3 in the next one if you want to make it to PGC.
Yeah, if even, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It would be crazy. I think it would be really bad if they only do 2. But yeah, like you said, they only announced 2.
Yeah,
It's
because at the
also
same
it's
time,
not just bad for the PGC points. It's also bad for the EWC qualifier.
Yeah, because like if you make it to the top 8 again, the team who just made it to EWC with the invites, they can literally.
Yeah. And the teams in the bottom 4 or 5, 6, whatever, they're not playing for anything. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
No, so basically the teams who are gonna be in the top 8, they're just gonna choose who is gonna make it to the EWC because they're playing for nothing.
Yeah.
You don't like this team, you can just like grief them all the tournament so they don't make it to EWC because you already made it.
Yeah. That's really shit. It's really, really shit.
I mean, I hope they're gonna make EWC with the points. Otherwise,
it was so good. I was saying this as well because there was regions that didn't have it. Like even last year, like Korea had no PGC points and no prize money, and I was like, it's just such a bad decision. Like it just makes no sense. You need to have something to play for in the tournament, because even then, FaZe or whatever, whoever is gonna be invited to EWC is gonna play in that tournament. They have nothing to play for if there's no PGC points, like literally 0. Like,
yeah, you're just playing it for fun.
It's terrible.
So we basically need something. I mean, I hope that after the last year, they're gonna make at least some prize pool for the EWC qualifier because it was insane.
Yeah.
I remember us playing as a VP because we already knew that we were on the EWC. I wouldn't say we sweat that much. We took like the FIFA 6th place, but it wasn't like.
You weren't scared, yeah.
Sweating. Yeah, we wasn't sweating or something. We were just like testing some of the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the global partner POV, you know? You're not sweating, you're just trying things out, you're trying to get better. You don't really care if you're 5th or 7th or 3rd.
And, like the other people are just shaking in their chairs, like we want to make it.
They're like, holy fuck, we could make it, and the fucking invites are just like, yeah, okay. It's it's a different world. Last one I had written down. Last question. Thoughts on TPP?
Boy. Actually, I mean, it's kind of fun, not gonna lie, but you have to implement some things in it to make it more random. Like, I don't know, like right now, positions that you take, it just gives you so much. Like if you have people on the high ground against you and you in low ground, you just can exit the game already. You just know you can't win it. So basically, like if they're gonna make some changes that you can like change the battlefield a little bit, like with distractions, for example, that they had with Sanok. Like for example, if you just nade something and like it's make some battlefield, you know what I mean? Like because if you can change the terrain, it might be a little bit fair because you can like make some cover for yourself and don't die for it. And at the same time, like sitting in the compound right now, it's like T-Rep. Like even any tip is not even close to the sitting in the compound in TPP. But still fun because like everyone is a fucking newbie. Nobody understands what to do. Nobody understands how to pick. Nobody understands how to actually like scout and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to play. But like whenever people will abuse all the mechanics and understand everything, it's gonna be unplayable. Most likely, like the teams would already understand that it's a GG point. Like they're just sitting in the bad spot.
That's been my experience as well. I like to play the intense battle royale mode to warm up because like you can shoot your DMR a lot in that mode, and there is no DMR like deathmatch maps anymore. But it's like, and it's fun because everyone's bad. But as soon as there's one person who's really using TPP and he's good at using it, like it's fucking over. Like you gotta push towards that guy, you're dead. You know, you think that compound's empty, you're dead. It's really rough.
No, I mean, I don't even know. Like, I mean, only if they implement something, it's gonna be good. But I just hope that the Chinese pro players or Korean pro players, because like probably their feedback is gonna be matter the most.
Yeah,
they're just gonna say it. I just hope so. Because it just kills like a little bit competitive integrity or anything. Like you can't see the clutches or anything. Like at one point, I would agree that it's fun, but you need to make PUBG like PUBG Mobile then, because like in PUBG Mobile, playing third person is not that It's not giving you that much, like, how you say it, like, no, I mean, not giving you that much, because like the shooting is different, and in the PUBG Mobile, like one person can just clutch a 4-man squad because of how they shoot there, and time to kill is a little bit less because they're just playing with the Saigas and
Shotguns. Yeah.
M4s instead of the minis. You can spray for 300 meters. It's literally like when you shoot, it's just like track and shoot. You don't need like to like shoot a little bit in front of the people. And in this case, yeah, the PUBG would be fun to play and would be skillful even in TPP, because like of how you move, how your aim is, you can clutch people. But how is it right now with the time to kill that you have? Only if you have a pin 90 you can clutch it somehow against the 4 people, or like a shotgun, but you won't have it in the real game because you need a mini to shoot people for 200 meters away.
Yeah.
So you basically just need to change everything if you want it to work and have it at least watchable and fun. Otherwise, whenever everyone gonna understand what to do, it's gonna be a completely different game, and it's gonna be even not fun to watch how the people just watching in the wall.
I think it's really interesting because the whole sort of reasoning behind it is we want to get new people to esports, right? We want to grow the esports, and we want to grow the viewership because there's so many more TPP players than there is FPP players. So I think that makes sense, right? Like you can't there's arguments against that, but it does make sense. But then you're inviting all the FPP pros instead of making it like more open qualifiers. And I just think like that's the worst thing for all the new players is if you have a FaZe Clan, a Twisted Minds, a NaVi in there just farming you every day. I think that's like a little twisted. I feel like they're not sure what they want to do, or they're not super clear on what they want, because they want the big names, they want the viewership from a Twisted Minds, but they also want to get new people in, and I think both of those are kind of hard to do at the same time.
I think the best way would be for them is adding more tournaments like they did. But for example, you have TPP tournaments and FPP tournaments at the same time, but like making TPP tournaments as a LANs as well. You basically have 2 other roles, like for people for the FPP, who is playing this FPP.
TPP players and FPP players.
Not even like this. I would say even like, for example, we playing these TPP tournaments as well, but you can have a TPP LAN as well, that you actually like qualified somewhere, and you're going on the TPP LAN, and it's completely kind of different. I don't know how to connect it with the PJS points and stuff, but maybe making it like a tier 2 tournament for now. So people are more getting used to it.
Yeah.
Well, so for example, like if players right now didn't qualify, and you know that we have like TPP Masters like in a week or something.
Yeah.
Just make it like TPP Masters, and then just making, if you play it good, making them to go to the LANs. You have like FPP players who are playing their own LAN, and the players who didn't make it, at least playing it on TPP LAN somewhere for like at least prize money, and see like the viewership. Just have it like a test TPP LAN to see what's up with the viewership, or what's gonna be.
Maybe that's coming, you know, maybe that's next year. TPP LANs. We'll see.
Yeah, I think we heard it sometimes like 2 years ago, where it was a
I've heard it every year. They said it every year. There's like, oh, TPP tournament next year. TPP tournament next year.
In the start of the year. That's the thing. Like that you actually not sitting January and February AFK, but you just in January, February you're already getting an invitational TPP tournament.
Yeah.
Where you actually don't need to qualify or anything. You're just getting invited.
Yeah.
And you play, and I see it's a good way, because like why not? You're not playing qualifiers for it. You're inviting the teams. It's a little bit harsh that you are not the team who is invited, but for the teams who are invited, at the same time you're going on the LAN, you're going on the tournament. It doesn't matter at all. It's just all about competing for the money and for the PUBG, just to test the viewership and stuff. And then you just come back and you already played the other tournament.
The one thing I was I got really excited because they said in some announcement, they said that the scrims would be in game. So you could sign up in-game. And I think that would be a full game changer. Like, if people in the game could just queue up for a tournament and play it with their friends, I think you would actually get new people. But if you have to sign up to Challenger mode, make an account there, and then play tournaments with all these comp players who are already on Challenger mode, I think that's like a big step for a lot of teams. And you would get way more people if it was actually in-game.
If you have it in-game, it's 100% different.
Yeah.
People just need to press one button and you're already in it.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Exactly.
I mean, they definitely need to return that page with the esports. Remember, like when we had the
Yeah.
PCS and stuff.
The
like,
esports tab.
Would be, the esports tab made a big difference there.
Yeah.
Whenever you have it, so even like, I don't know, like we talked about it as well, and like the best thing that we found out is that if you can like return this esports tab and make it like as well as it was back then, that you can choose what team is gonna win, and you're gonna have like same as the PKMs, right?
Yeah.
But like make it a little bit different for every tournament. It's gonna take so many people to watch it, because you just know it. Whenever people gamble and watch,
Mm-hmm.
they actually like enjoying watching it, because like you actually gambled something
Yeah.
and you know that you can win something. But it's probably only because of the China region we can't do it, because they hate gambling or something.
I think there's also, I think the main game is just so much bigger than the esports. So like the esports doesn't get much resources, you know, like if 95% of players don't watch the esports, then the game developers just say, we don't want one out of like, you know, we have 5 tabs or whatever in the game menu. We don't want a 6th tab to be esports because it's so tiny. It will confuse more viewers and stuff. I think it's like priorities from PUBG most of the time. It's the same with the skins and stuff. It's like basically some very high up PUBG esports people just said, we don't get a lot of resources on skin design because they're all the focus is not on the esports skins. The focus is on the main skins, on the progressives and everything. Because esports is still very small in the whole scheme of things.
I imagine having a progressive gun with the esports skin of the team.
Yeah. I've said this so many times. For me, it doesn't even have to be that. I mean, both things, right? Team skins, Fit Nations Cup, bro. Make the fucking helmets with the flag on it. How many Germans are gonna buy a German colored level 3 helmet, you know, for €5? Insane amount.
I mean, it's
also
same as well if you make stickers.
Yeah.
Like if you have a CS stickers and stuff that you can apply on your gun.
Yeah.
Like even people who's not in the esports, they're just gonna apply it on their gun because they like how it looks.
Yeah.
To make a sticker or something, and like, people gonna buy them like crazy.
I think Valorant did the coolest thing ever on like one of their first World Championships, where they made a Vandal like an AK, and if you were top fragging on the team, it would start glowing. And it was like the coolest skin in the game for a while, because it was literally like glow if you're fragging. PUBG can do that, right? We have progressives with kill effects and shit. Like it wouldn't even be that hard to do. Make that an esports skin, €15, whatever the fuck. Everyone's buying that shit. But they just don't wanna. They would rather. They don't want to give 20% of it to the esports. They want to keep it all, you know.
I was said as well at the same time that add all the progressive gun skins on the esport client, so like the pro players can just have them equipped. And the best marketing that you can have watching the tournament, that people just playing with the barrel level 10, SLR level 10, everything, and you can see these guns and people would like to buy them as well. And at the same time, pro players would at least, you know, not playing with the black barrel or something. You can literally just do so much about it.
We like for so many years also on the esports server, we never had the skins of the tournament we were playing, right? We never had the PGC 2023 skins at PGC and stuff. Like
we had it, but only when it was PCS. Like
we only had the old ones always. We always had from the last tournament, you know?
I think it was at one time, because like when I remember the charity one, the first one, we actually were having a charity skins on. It just happened sometimes when they were lucky basically with the patches. Like the patches were just kind of in time. But when they did something with the patches, esports A and B, and started to be like one step behind.
Yeah.
And they couldn't fix it after that.
That was always really bad to me. And then last the PGC before this one, they had the 2023 PGC skins. But then PUBG told the admins, these are the clothing skins, the PGC skins everybody has to wear. And then the admin said, no other skins. So we weren't allowed to use the PGC gun skins. Like there was like an MK and a barrel and shit. And we weren't allowed to use them because basically they weren't in the rule book. And like none of the admins understood, and PUBG didn't care and stuff. And it's like so easy marketing. Like it's so easy. Like it's a good looking skin too. It was like blue and gold barrel and MK and stuff. And it was guns we would actually use because they're barrel and MK, you know? But Yeah, I don't know. They shoot themselves in the foot a lot with those like small things.
I mean, sometimes they don't understand, like admins, they just don't understand sometimes what you're actually saying.
Yeah. It's rough. It's rough. We'll see. We've already been going on for 1.5 hours, so I'm gonna cut it so I have a chance to like upload this to YouTube and render it and everything. But yeah, it was nice. It was a good talk. And thank you for coming on, and hope we see you guys popping off at PGS.
Thank you for inviting. I mean, the plan is pretty big, just to like probably start our era right now. Start to dominating. Like whenever you have a first win on the online tournament, you just know that you can do it on the LAN as well. Like,
Yeah.
why not?
Why not? You know you can win now. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's always, you just need to get the first win with the team. So everyone mentality is you just raising up instantly.
It helps for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. See you later.
Yeah.
That was episode 23 of the Hot Drop. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, creator code KOWO is always super appreciated. There will be a link below. There's also cool content on the Geekay YouTube channel if you guys want to check that out, especially if you speak Russian. They put out team comms, and the PC video is already out, so banger content there. And I'll see you guys again soon.